What's up, guys? Welcome back to Right Side, and today I want to talk to you guys about my favorite Supreme Court decision of this past term. In 1984, Chevron USA Incorporated challenged the National Resource Defense Council about some of the enforcement of certain provisions in the Clean Air Act. The case was a 6-3 decision, but had far-reaching implications about the relationship between courts and federal agencies. The case instituted a legal principle called the Chevron Deference, which saw courts deferring to federal agencies in the cases of ambiguous laws, taking the hands of power out of Congress and into the federal agencies. That was until this past term when it was overruled by the Supreme Court. Chevron was struck down by a case that saw a fisherman who, by law, had to have a regulator on his ship to ensure compliance. The law, however, was unclear as to who paid for the regulator's salary, the fisherman or the federal agency. The courts, obligated by Chevron, deferred to the federal agency, who, of course, passed the bill to the fishermen. The overturning of Chevron is a huge step back and power grab away from the federal agencies and puts the power back, and responsibility that is, back to Congress as to who is in charge of making particular laws. The overturning of Chevron means that the power of who makes laws goes back rightfully to Congress, stopping federal agencies from essentially writing up their own laws when they seem fit. Ambiguous laws should not be in the hands of federal agencies to interpret. That's not their job. Their job is enforcement. We all have to remember that federal agencies are part of the executive branch. The legislative branch creates the laws. The executive branch enforces them. Very different. The judicial branch, the court system, their entire job is to interpret the law. So if Congress makes a law overly ambiguous, it is on Congress to fix it, not for the courts to give to the federal agencies to write their own laws as they go. That is rife for corruption and was rightfully turned down. This has implications and gives the president the ability, the courts the ability, to roll back the regulatory deep state, the bureaucracy that laced into everything. Remember, this is the same bureaucracy that in California, their deep state was so bad that if you watch Bill Maher, you should know about this. California tried to build a public toilet for general use, and the estimated costs due to zoning and codes and regulators and inspections and was estimated to be almost $1 million. That's unbelievable. The final cost came out to be around $150,000. But those costs are unbelievable. And they're all because of the deep regulatory state, the bureaucracy, that because of Chevron was given the power in cases of laws to say it, to write their own laws on the spot. The fact that this case existed in the first place was crazy. And in my eyes, it was rightfully turned down. And it gives the power back to the Congress, where it should be, to create the laws. And I can only hope as a conservative that President Trump, soon to be President Trump, takes this court decision and runs with it. Runs with it. To really take a sledgehammer to the deep state, take a chainsaw to the federal bureaucracy, cite this case, and let's get the deep state back into proper shape. Optimally, getting rid of it entirely, but we all know how that goes. It's funny because a lot of people think that when you talk about the deep state, you're thinking about all these shadowy figures behind closed doors, all this, all that. When all it is people that have, it's too many cooks in the kitchen is the best analogy one can make about the deep state. It's not about these conspiratorial groups that are conjuring against you, although those do exist. It's more about the rot and the barriers of regulations and regulators that delay projects. If you're in construction, you know this. The codes, the inspectors, the regulators, everyone has to butt their head into the process of how things get done in everyday life. That's a bureaucracy. That's the deep state. That is exactly what Chevron gave the power to. And Chevron is now gone. I know that this is a shorter video, and I hope you guys liked it. If you did, be sure to click subscribe, ring the bell, like, and comment down below of what you thought and what other topics you'd like me to cover in the future. Without further ado, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video. See ya.